But the first thing you need to do is ensure that number 1 becomes a 7. And then you need to go and ensure number 2 becomes a 7 and do it in a hierarchical order, because that's the way we've built it. The truth will set you free. But truth, we don't like the truth as human beings, because the truth often tells us the things that we know to be true, we just don't want to accept. What I want to do for you today is take you through a 12-question business reality check, where at the end of this video, you will have complete and utter clarity on where your business is currently, what it is you need to focus on, and why you need to focus on it now. Now, if you want to do this with one of my team, please get in touch with us and we'll find time to do this in person with you. And this is designed for you if you've got a business that's doing $2,000 a month-ish turnover or profit, anywhere up to $250,000 a month profit. Now, if you're watching this in South Africa, because I know some of my followers, are here, $250,000 is about 4 million rand a month profit. So you can play with that in your head. I'm going to take you through this and I want you to answer each question from 1 to 7. 1 being, nope, no idea, not started, completely clueless, didn't even think it was important, right? That's 1. 7 being, I've got it 100% documented like you described it, Rob, and I'm doing it 100% as well. So it's 100% of the theory together and 100% of the practice together. And then obviously you've got and it's producing the outcomes that you want. And you've obviously then got a sliding scale between the 1 and the 7. So we're going to go through 12 questions and I want you to answer these for yourself and I'll explain each question as we go. You might want to press pause now and get a pen and paper or maybe pick up your phone and write it on there. And please forgive me if I look down because I actually have these questions designed for you on my iPad in front of me. So question number 1 is, I know exactly what my business needs to achieve. I have it written down in enough detail, even a complete stranger could understand it without me explaining it to them. So why don't you go and give yourself a mark? Remember, 1 is appalling, nope, not even started. 7 is 100%, I've got it all documented. I know exactly what my business needs to achieve on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis for me to achieve my goals. I have it written down, and you could probably send me the PDF in 6 seconds if you've got it written down in enough clarity, and that I wouldn't need to ask you any questions about your business and what you need to achieve in order to go and understand it. In fact, you could give it to an alien from Mars, and they'd go, oh yeah, got it. That's question number 1. Give yourself a grade. 1 to 7. Question number 2. I know exactly who my ideal customer is. I have it narrowly written in a document that profiles them to the smallest detail. One of the biggest problems in businesses is we say we can help everybody, and it might well be true, and in the process, we don't sell anything to anybody in enough volume. So who's your narrow niche? My narrow niche is Christian business owners and entrepreneurs who have 20 full-time employees or less. That's my narrow niche. Give yourself a grade from 1 to 7. Obviously, if you know it, but you haven't written it down, that's going to be at the bottom end of the scale. And if you know it and you've got it written down in enough detail, that's going to be at the 7 end of the scale. And to give you a frame of what's enough detail, my profile on KingdomPreneur's ideal customers is 42 sheets of paper long. What that means is I can take it and feed it into ChatGPT, into Google Gemini or any other AI platform, and it teaches the platform, and I can give it to my graphic designer, I can give it to my web designer, video editor, everybody, and they can understand the customer having never met them, and they can produce material and goods for the customer designed exactly for them. So question number 3, I know what painful problem I solve for my customer, and I know what happiness objective I solve for my customer at the same time. Right, so I'll read that again. I know what painful problem I solve for my customer, and I know what happiness objective I achieve for my customer when they buy one thing from me. The reason I mention that is because people buy to push away from pain and pull towards pleasure. That's the buying mechanism. Just to do one means your product or service has little power. But to do both, then you're taking what Jesus did. So give yourself a grade, 1 to 7. Question number 4. I have a proven product or service that my customer wants to buy that achieves taking away the painful problem and giving them the happiness objective they want. I want you to really notice that I use the word want in this. People spend 86% of what they have available to them on want and 14% on need. That's a global statistic. And the moment you have a need-based product or service or solution is the moment that you will sell a lot or have to trade your Christian values in order to sell it. So need-based products are really, really hard. And you have to remember that unless you're selling air, people need that, basic levels of accommodation, water, food, and clothes, those are the primary needs, right? So people will spend all of their small chunk, 14 to 16% of what they earn on these things first, and then they'll consider with whatever's left what they'll do with the rest just on a need-based product, and then 86% they'll still spend on what they want. So I'll read that question 4 again. I have a proven product or service my customer wants to buy that achieves both aspects of taking them away from pain and towards their happiness objective. Give yourself a score from 1 to 7. Next, number 5. I have a clearly laid out business budget that is managed at least weekly, that is evidence-based on historical trading, that isn't based on future dreams, and I know what my gross profit and net profit is, and I track it weekly. Give yourself a score from 1 to 7. This is the numbers part of your business, the bit that's going to fill your bank account, and the truth that will set you free. Business owners earn from the net profit. That is the profit after everything else has been taken care of in the business. That's our bit to spend or reinvest in the business. And so if you know that for yourself and you have it clearly written down, you have a document that you work on, you track it weekly or daily, and it's evidence-based from the past, not hopeful for the future, then give yourself a 7. And if you're nowhere close to it and haven't even started and you're still doing it with a pen and paper on the back of a sweet wrapper, then maybe that's a 1. Question number 6. I have a logical progressive value ladder for my business that continually solves my niche's problems and takes them closer to what they desire. So if you don't know what a value ladder is a progressive series of purchases that a customer can make with you over a period of time where you extend the lifetime value of a customer over months, years, or decades. In South Africa, Toyota has done that really well by people buying into the brand of Toyota and only driving Toyota and having a range of vehicles from something that a person who's just passed their driving license at say 18 years old can have, all the way through to somebody who wants to, have a Land Cruiser and go and drive through Africa in their 50s could buy. Just as a for instance, progressive series of vehicles and opportunities. And do you have that for your customer? Right? A progression that takes them closer to what they desire. 7 to 1. Question number 7. I market my product or service with a measurable ability to consistently generate qualified leads in my business. So this isn't just about doing marketing, social media, having a website, speaking to people, networking, generating adverts or pamphlets or whatever else. This is the whole thing working all the way through that it consistently gives you leads, qualified people who want to buy from you. What I mean by that is, if you do these things here, you do 6 steps, you get 1 customer, or 4 steps, you get 1 customer, or 10 steps, you get 1 customer, and it works. That would be 7. And 1 would be, I have no idea really where my customers come from. Like I talk to lots of people and see what happens, but really I couldn't tell you how many new customers I'm going to have in my business in 2 or 3 months' time. I'm just hoping they arrive. Question number 8. I know the quote or sales volume I need to do weekly to achieve the business's financial goals and take action to ensure this is achieved. This goes back to knowing your numbers. You know just how many sales you have to make every week. You know how to get those sales, how to close those sales, and how to measure it, right? And that you take that action consistently on a weekly basis to ensure that it happens. 7 would be always happens all of the time, and I know how to make it work in 36 weeks' time. 1 is don't really know how many sales I have to make, but I know how much cash I really want, and I don't really know how to make it happen consistently. Question number 9. Making a purchase from my business is quick, easy, and always available, right? This is by the customer's perspective. If you sell life insurance, nobody wants to meet you twice and then swipe a thing and sign all this paperwork and blah, 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 and it takes, 2 weeks or a month to go and get your life insurance in place. People want it to happen in 24 hours or less. Is that possible? Yes. It's just not how your industry currently does it as a financial advisor. But is it possible? 100% yes. And so where are you with people buying from you? Quick, easy, efficient, reliable, always available? Or from a customer's perspective, forced, clunky, time-consuming, lots of moving parts, so on and so forth? Give yourself a score. Well done. We're 9 questions through now. 3 more to go, and then you can give yourself a score. Question number 10. I know what type of experience will keep my customer coming back again and again, and have purposefully built what I do to give them this, right? So this is understanding the lifetime value of your customer. How often does somebody repeat purchase from you? We were in a coffee shop in Cape Town this morning called Giovanni's. Mehmet is the guy who was the barista, who we've got to know a little bit. And it strikes me that he knows exactly the experience that the customers want, coming back again and again and again to Giovanni's. He also gets to know people, but he also knows, that person comes in twice a day. They come in the morning for a croissant and a café long or an Americano, and then they'll come back after lunch for a cappuccino. This person just comes in the mornings. This person just comes in the afternoon. These people come in every day for lunch. It's hard in that coffee shop to actually find a place to sit because it's that busy the entire time, because they know who their customers are, what they want, and how to keep them coming back. Give yourself a mark. 7 to 1. 11. Question number 11. I'm regarded as an authority in my part of the industry. People are willing to travel outside of their geography to meet me. That means that people are willing to travel to you to use your services, and they're willing to leave town or city A and come to your town or city B to meet you because you're that good to use you, right? That your industry regards you as an authority in the industry. So that would put you at a 7. A 1 is, I'm one of many. People aren't willing to travel to me. In fact, I have to travel to them. The people are often just not willing to meet me, and I have to kind of schmooze them lots to get them to meet me. 12th and final question. I have a plan and willingness to employ the right people in my business to ensure growth and sustainability. So 7 is you already employ people and you have a plan to employ a lot more. You know how to find them. You know what are the culture fits and characteristics of those employees and the competencies of those employees. And you're planning to employ a lot more to achieve growth beyond you. That will give you a 7. A 1 is not employing anybody, might employ somebody part-time, maybe a family member, scared of employing people, don't know where to find them, don't know who they are, and I'm operating on my own as a lone ranger. That would be a 1. A business, by definition, has employees that provide a product or service for a customer at a profit, managed by the owner or the director of the firm. That's a business by definition. And so if we don't have a plan to employ people, we actually aren't providing an environment for people to thrive. We're not allowing other people to magnify their talents. And we're not actually running a business. We've actually created a job for ourselves within the structure of a business. So you've got the opportunity here now to go through and give yourself a total score. Where to go next? Firstly, congratulations if you get to, I think 84 is the highest possible score. Congratulations. Equally, if you get to 84, I want you to go and sanity check this video a 3rd or 4th time, because I've been doing this for 25 years with these 12 questions, and I haven't even had Microsoft Global score 84. I haven't had General Electric score 84. I have never had a business honestly score 84. And so you're going to give yourself a score. This is the truth that sets you free. But where do you go next? Certainly you can use a Christian business coaching service like KingdomPreneur to support you with this. But if you want to go it alone a bit, and you can do, there's plenty of resources online to go and answer all of these questions. But the first thing you need to do is ensure that number 1 becomes a 7. And then you need to go and ensure number 2 becomes a 7, and do it in a hierarchical order, because that's the way we've built it. it's actually impossible to truly get a 7 on question number 5 if, for instance, you don't have 7s for questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I hope this has been some value for you. I'd love to know what your number is below here. I'd love to know what it is you need to go focus on. And we'd love to see you succeeding with a business score of 84 in a business that truly shows him through every engagement because of the excellence and dominion that your business has sought. God bless.